kept a journal and wrote down
what everything he fucking did.
Yeah.
All his thoughts, all his wicked iniquity, all his thoughts.
So when you guys are celebrating Christopher Columbus, just think, you're celebrating a pedophile. Because I got this article celebrating a pedophile, and it says, we celebrate a man who launched a genocide to terrorize indigenous people, who caused mass slaughter, mutilation of peoples, and sexual slavery of young girls. No more older than 9.
And he did that. Christopher Columbus came and he did that.
It said most banks and schools closed down for the day in honor of Columbus Day. But why? Ask yourself, should you be celebrating a man that did all of that just because he so-called discovered America and sailed from Europe to America? I wouldn't.
I don't. I sure don't.
So, if a pedophile these days, you guys would say, oh, hell with that, right? They would look down to a pedophile these days, if they knew that Christopher Columbus was a pedophile.
If they knew the fucking Pope is a pedophile, all the Catholic priests, basically all you clergymen, a bunch of faggots, a bunch of homosexuals. And the brother said that Christopher Columbus called us Indians, which without word means savage. But contrary to what he said, this is what he thought about us. All right. They do not bear arms and do not know them, for I showed them a sword. They took it by the edge and cut themselves. So if we're savages, we would have known a weapon of destruction. And that's not the only thing he said about us.
Oh yeah. When he even said that we were a peaceful people, that we didn't know of any evil.
So now, you want to get Job 36:12, and Hosea 4 and 6. Oh, let me get Revelation first. This is Revelation 13. This is Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right, and we are the saints because we got the patience for that to happen back to the man who did that.
Just take a look at that brother that was here talking to us. How patient was he? So now I'm gonna read about what Christopher Columbus thought about us. Oh, you got Job 34. Let me get Hosea first.
Because Christopher Columbus, he's the one that made the way. He made the way for the Edomites, for the Caucasians to prosper in this land. He started it off. And he was a Christian, so-called Christian.
Oh yeah.
He was from the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Because the Pope Rodrigo Borgia hired Christopher Columbus and told him to go enslave lands and to take it over.
And just to show you how wicked these Edomites are, he changed his name after he bought the papacy to Alexander. So his name was Alexander Sixtus when he became Pope. So you got that in Job 36.
This is Job 36:12. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge.
So when I told you that Christopher Columbus showed them a sword and they grabbed it by the edge and cut themselves, that's exactly what that means. So this is Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the laws of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So those indigenous people are the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And they're at this point in time in history, but what we're talking about, Christopher Columbus, 1492, is the beginning of that destruction. And we're still getting destroyed right now. You know what? That pumped me up when that brother came over here, man. That pumped, because if he's going over there to a Christian event, guess what? We got a bunch of pigeons. We're gonna shoot some fish in the barrel real quick, because you know damn well he's gonna tell anybody. He's gonna tell everybody, Rock. He's gonna tell everybody. Right now, he's like, whoa. If he's sincere, we just blew his mind.
So now when he goes to church, he's gonna be thinking in his head, hold on, you know?
These brothers are telling me the truth.
Yep, he's gonna have the truth already, and then now he's gonna hear bullshit. Now he's gonna be able to discern that.
Man, but now is the real battle for him, because now he's gonna have demons on his fucking ear. He's gonna have to face that battle, and the only one that can help him through this battle is us. Damn, man. Sometimes it's like how Hashem Yahweh Shai does these spiritual things to motivate us, to let us know that we're doing the right thing. So that demon of doubt just got his ass whooped. He just got beat down. You got beat down, demon.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, you did. And you know what also happened? I'm pumped up, man. I'm excited. Man, I'm excited right now. Oh man, and they're playing so-called gospel music, man. Oh shit. Let those people come down here, man. They're gonna say, you guys are crazy. But what if they said, why don't you guys come up here and take the mic? They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't let me take the mic.
They wouldn't let us edify our people.
They would be like, they would take it, they would make it quiet as soon as I said the white man is a so-called devil.
Because if it ain't prosperous, you know.
Hey, that brother always looks at us every time he passes by, and he remembers us. He needs to stop by. Hey, so what are we doing out here? We're trying to wake up you Gentiles to the fact that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people, and some of you white people are confusion of faces, which means you came from these lines right here, these 12 tribes. That's that dude. Remember that one dude that walked across the street with the lady?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, you can only catch so many fish. And check this out, man. They're having a Christian event over there, and they're neglecting the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, prophesying to Yasharallah. Those motherfuckers should be over here asking us questions. And that brother didn't ask no questions. He wasn't ready for the questions. But he needs to what he is gonna do. And I know this for a fact because every time we talk to somebody, they do it. They're gonna tell someone else. He's gonna tell someone else, and that other person is gonna be like, no, that's not true. And he's gonna be like, but they showed me right here, and I'm studying it, and I watched this video, and I went onto this site, and this and that, and the other. Lord willing. Call Halayim like how about Shimi how Shai? You know? Hopefully that brother wakes up. And if he doesn't, you know, we're doing the job. We're doing the work, the hard work, man. This is the hardest job ever. Alright, so I just read that in Hosea, and the brother just read Job 36:12. So now I'm going to get this to let you know how Christopher Columbus thought about the so-called savage people. Throughout his journal over the next month, Columbus spoke of the Native Americans with what seemed like admiring awe. This is a quote. So this is what Christopher Columbus said. They are the best people in the world, and above all the gentlest. Without no knowledge of what is evil, nor do they murder or steal. They love their neighbors as themselves, and they have the sweetest talk in the world. always laughing. You want to get Matthew 22 and 36. So that's telling you about how can we be savages when we love each other and follow the laws? Because Christopher Columbus came over here, raped, robbed, and murdered us, brought that white Jesus, that devil, because Christopher Columbus was the devil.
That's right, and the Son of God wasn't white, he was a Negro.
A big, powerful Negro.
That's right, his hair was woolly.
You know, it makes me sick that you guys want to hear that he's weak. Let me explain something to you about our Messiah's death. That was not a sign of weakness. That was an atonement for his sins and his past life and our sins, the elect's sins. He was not a man of peace. And you're going to see that firsthand with your eyes when Yahweh Shem Yahushai comes down in those chariots, which are those UFOs, and starts burning up these buildings. Because that's what's going to happen because of all the atrocities that the so-called devil, the white man, did. Hey, that's just how it is. That's the truth. Look into history. Any part in any history, you'll find out who is the most violent, who is the most covetous, who is tyrannical. Because the brother said that Christopher Columbus got locked up by his own people for tyranny. Are you still reading that definition? So get that definition, bro.
Yeah, because they don't teach you in school about Christopher Columbus, you know, because they take it out of the textbooks.
They take out this stuff out of the textbooks.
Right.
And they basically lie to you. And you're just sitting there, not asking your teachers questions about what did Christopher Columbus really come here to do.
Right, because Christopher Columbus
came here to steal our gold and kill us. Because you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites, which is in the Bible. And the Lord ain't no white man, he's a black man. And he has war in his heart. He's gonna come back to kill all you people that don't listen to what we're saying.
Yeah, they take out the textbooks, the bad stuff about Christopher Columbus. Because right here it says, I'm still in that article.
And you know what? They took out all the bad stuff, but I fucking got it. I have it all right here. I'm gonna fucking shove it down your throat.
It says, he raped, slaughtered, mutilated, and forced natives into slavery.
Wow.
It says there were anywhere from 50 to 100 million natives living on the land.
How many?
From 50 to 100 million natives.
So there was 50 to 100 million natives. And do you know how much that went down? As soon as the devil came?
It says he abducted and sold children.
Hey, so that's how you get pedophilia around this country, man. Christopher Columbus was the first pedophile. He abducted our children.
That's right. It said he abducted and sold children into sexual slavery and even raped those children. Christopher Columbus. Yep. And it says Columbus, in an attempt to wipe the population, intentionally spread smallpox and forced natives out of their homes.
Biological warfare.
To live in an unbearable condition. Damn.
Terraforming.
That's messed up.
So that's what the devil does, man. The devil he's not happy because he doesn't have a promise. The only promise he has is that of the sword. His promise is the gun, violence.
That's right. And it says Columbus made many die from disease and neglect. Okay. He marched natives more than 1,000 miles, and if they could not complete the walk, they were left for dead.
And he would kill them. And then he had them looking for gold. And he was making them look for gold that wasn't even there. And then as punishment, he would chop off their arm. Hey, that's what the devil, the white man, does. He chopped off our arms, made us pick gold that wasn't even there. And then all these chronicles are right here in the Bible and in the history books.
It says, Columbus and his other murderers were labeled as heroes for what they had done.
So if I go murder somebody, am I going to be a hero? Hell no. I'm going to be in Corcoran State. Or here you got the white man fucking killing us, raping us. And the Bible's telling you he's the devil, but you still love him.
Because it says Columbus and his other murderers were labeled as heroes for what they had done. The atrocities committed were conveniently left out of textbooks. Were left out of textbooks because would you appreciate your country knowing what he had done to it?
Because now you have to come to the realization that we're living so good and comfortably because of this pig, Christopher Columbus. Carry on, brother.
It says,
and you know what? I'm excited to be here because there's a lot of so-called Christians walking by, and I'm giving it to them.
It says, to put it simply, you cannot discover what is already belonging to someone. Natives had it much longer before Columbus came round.
Hey, let me get this right quick. This is Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And we're patiently waiting for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to return in those chariots, which are those UFOs, to light this place up. Because of the wickedness that abounds. This devil knows no boundaries. And the devil isn't an angel that's going against Yahweh. Because spiritual Satan, first of all, is Yahweh's son. And he does his bidding. And he does what Yahushai tells him. Second, he's our brother. What do you think about that? Just like Esau, the devil, is our brother. But he's the wicked brother. Constantly breaking the laws. And he's a tyrant. Go ahead.
This is what Columbus said. It says, these people have no religious beliefs, nor are they idolaters. They are very gentle and do not know what evil is.
Because they're Israelites. And they were trying to follow the laws, but guess what? They were still committing wicked things. They were still doing wicked things.
It said, nor do they kill others, nor steal.
Hey, that sounds like they're obeying the 10 Commandments.
And they are without weapons.
So, I just read that same thing that article's saying in this old book. This old book that was being thrown away out of that library right there. And I saved this book by purchasing it, by redeeming it, like Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to redeem us. I redeemed this book out of destruction for $1. And look at all this information it has. We could do a camp for a whole year out of this book. Line it up with the Bible. Man, we're in business. Go ahead, brother.
It says,
man, I'm feeling good, man.
It says, if the natives had been so hospitable, who did not know what evil was, did not kill or steal, had no weapons, why did Columbus do the things he did?
Because he's a goddamn devil. And he's going to get recompense. He's going to get paid back. So all you people out there in YouTube land that are worried about, well, the Israelites they committed wickedness too. Yeah, they're gonna get wiped out. 2/3 are gonna get wiped out, but the 1/3 we're gonna bring them back in the kingdom, which is gonna be here on earth. We're gonna bring those people back after they get judged. But so is the devil, and so are you other nations. You're gonna get judged, and if you're not an Edomite and you're the son of man is gonna be our slave perpetually, which means forever. The son of the wicked, after 1,000 years of hard, intense labor, woo, the worst kind. Hey, it's gonna be 100 times worse than the worst thing you can imagine, Esau. You're gonna get paid back for that too. So the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is a perfect balance. Man, see, if that brother was going over there to that concert because he wants to kick it with his Christian friends. So maybe he was just being polite, maybe he was just humoring us, but he's never gonna forget this. He's sealed for one thing, that's for sure. He's either sealed for destruction or sealed for salvation. And we're praying that he's sealed for salvation. And just so you can know that we're not putting any pressure on it. We're not, hey man, you got to do this, you got to do that. We're not putting any pressure on anybody. We simply read out of the Bible, give you the definition, give you the history. We give you the definitions of words. We give you the definition of history terms, like the term tyrant. So we know that Christopher Columbus was a scumbag. But the good thing is, not everybody celebrates. Some people do. And there's a lot of wickedness going on. Like they got the statue of Baphomet in Washington, D.C. Man, you know what that is? That's worshiping Satan. And then they got the obelisk in Washington, D.C. that goes back to Egypt, which tells you that this is spiritual Egypt. And that's why America's going to get destroyed when the Lord comes back.
That's right.
Hey, right now there's a spiritual battle going on. You hear that music? That's Satan. He's fighting us. Hey, so we came out here for war, baby.
We're still out here breaking strongholds, you know.
They should be playing music for us. Here come the prophets. They ain't ever gonna do that. Hey, but you know what? It's okay. You can't win, like my boy at work says, you can't win them all. Hey, you can't win them all. You can't convince them all. Damn, today is a battle, man. Today is a battle. And you know what? I was watching the brother Bakwash. I think he's from Houston, and he was doing a live thing with the other brother, the elder, and he got pushed by somebody. So he got pushed pretty hard. He went back. So that's why we're getting closer to the wall. And I always got my eye out over here to the only entrance. So you got to be tactical out here. Hey, some people like to be out in the open. I'm not one of those people, man. If I'm like this, I have to have my back to the wall.
That's why they say when you're in prison, you gotta have your back to the wall, you know, because you gotta watch out. Somebody might stick you from the back. Shit.
Man, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to get spiritually stuck by the devil neither. Being out here all confused. What did he say about Jesus? And then to have a brother say the name Jesus. Well, first of all, you got to get those devils in check, man.
Because don't nobody know about this truth, you know. Every person that walks by, this is probably their first time hearing this, you know. So, you know, we just want to try to edify, you know, but it's not that we're trying to yell at them or nothing. It's just we're trying to bring them in.
And the reason why I'm yelling is because there's goddamn music playing so fucking loud.
That's right.
They got that garbage music playing down the street when you should be reading the Bible and studying it hardcore.
That's right. Because Negroes and Latinos,
Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people.
that's right.
And the Lord is a strong, big black man. And he hates the so-called white man, which is the devil.
And the white man, he was Christopher Columbus, you know. And
It was Christopher Columbus. He was Alexander the Greek. He was Antiochus. He was Herod. He was the Caesars of Rome. He's been many devils, man.
and all that is summed up to one person, Esau. Okay?
Because that's the father of the wicked.
Father of the Caucasians.
Yep. And we are the result of Jacob.
Right.
Yasharallah.
Our father is Jacob.
Man, call halayim la Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahawashi ba'Hashem Rahakudash.
That's right.
Water for this truth. Because we got these crackers over here convincing our people about their God. That's an automatic D for death. Damn, man, you guys are dumb.
Because Christopher Columbus, he says that because he read the Bible. Christopher Columbus, you know, he knows about the Bible, you know.
And he knows he read the Hebrew too.
Yeah, and he read Hebrew too.
He had interpreters that read Hebrew at least,
He had interpreters.
which he brought to these lands.
Yep. When he came over here, he brought Hebrew interpreters. And why did he do that? Because there were Hebrew people over here. Okay. He knew that they were Hebrew people. Why didn't he bring Asian interpreters or some other language? You know?
So yeah, since he knew he was going to India, he should have brought Indian interpreters, huh?
That's right.
Well, he said he knew, but man, come on. He who controls the past controls the future. Don't get slick with me, Billy.
That's right. So if he was all up in the scriptures, I wonder if he read this one. It's 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. So our weapons are not carnal, okay? Our weapons, you know, are our prayers. So Christopher Columbus, he didn't have no faith, okay? He wasn't a Christian, you know? Why did he walk after his weapons when he should have been walking by faith, you know? So he wasn't guided by the hand of the Most High, you know. He wasn't in favor of the Most High or one of God's chosen. No way.
So previously, we were describing what Christopher Columbus said about our people, and he said we were peaceable. We didn't break none of the laws. We didn't kill, murder, steal, nothing like that. So this is St. Matthew 22:36. Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Yahawashi said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and greatest and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And that's what Christopher Columbus said about us. They love each other. Man, this is the perfect example.
Yep.
How can you deny and neglect that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people? Don't you want to get out of here? Is everything okay in this society? Because I worry for my children. I think, man, these homosexuals have an agenda, and they're trying to get pedophiles into their business. God, give them rights. You know, in France, they lowered the consent age to 11. 11. And you could be a gay teacher and have a relationship with a little boy student.
That's bullshit.
And then that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia. Look it up.
So when it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal,
Careful.
2 Corinthians 10:4 says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal."
It's knowledge. Our weapons are spiritual, because the knowledge will mess you up. Knowledge will have you thinking, what the heck is going on this planet?
So Christopher Columbus said they are without weapons. So the natives in this land, they were following the Most High's commandments.
They were doing it to the letter of the T. And that tells you in the Apocrypha, which is a secret book. Now we came to the Americas when King Shalmaneser had us in the Assyrian captivity. So he separated Judah from Israel, and Israel came over here to the Americas, and we're still here. We're the real people of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the Bible. No one else can claim that. And we followed these laws, and Christopher Columbus took note, because he knew that we were over here. That's why he brought Hebrew interpreters. So basically, in his journals, he wasn't saying, "Oh, these people are like this." He was confessing, "Oh, we really did find these Israelites. They're really over here."
And I got some more on what Columbus was saying. It says, "They are artless and generous with what they have, to such a degree as no one would believe but him who had seen it."
And Christopher Columbus seen it.
Because they were generous with Columbus, but he took advantage of it when he came over here,
And if you take a look at us now, all these Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans, we're still generous. Okay, the only ones that are not generous are you white people. Some of you, the ones that are probably Israelites. So now you got a thing to say, because if you're looking in the mirror and say, "Oh, I'm white," but you're following these law, statutes, and commandments, you're an Israelite. You have to come to terms with who you really are.
Because the Lord, he don't know you as white, black, he don't know you like that.
And you sure the fuck don't know the name Jesus.
Because it don't say black, white in the Bible, Our nationality, why don't it say, well, he's black, he's white, why don't it say that?
And this is a book of idioms. Every language has idioms. Hey, only ears that can hear the truth will understand it.